Hey, what is going on, guys? In today's video, I want to have a conversation about Siphon in Project Nexus, as they have recently been making some adjustments, but I don't think the balance is quite right as of yet. Something to keep in mind is that Siphon is both, affects how fun, the general meta is, but also it's a big lever that they can pull to adjust how difficult the game is, right? Like, buffing Siphon to the maximum, making it so you get full health again and like 500 mats, I think would really cause some serious problems. I don't think it's just as simple as buffing Siphon to be as good as possible. So in today's video, we're going to have a conversation about what changes have been made so far and kind of the implications for that. We'll then talk about the benefits and drawbacks of Siphon, and then finally kind of go to a proposed solution. So when I first started playing Nexus just a few days ago, there was no Siphon, which is historical to Season 8. However, I do think this is problematic, unlike older seasons like Season 4, right? If you look at, like, say, Season 4, it's really not that big of a deal. Yes, I prefer to have Siphon, but there's low mobility, you build a lot less, and the game pace is slow. So that means that your material demands are much lower, and you have a lot more downtime. So if you have to farm and loot a little bit more, it's not as big of a deal. But in Season 8, which is a lot heavier on building, and I'd consider to be a medium mobility meta with the current state of Nexus, it means you are able to move around a lot faster, the game pace is faster, you need more materials, and without getting any Siphon, you spend a lot of time looting and a lot of time farming mats, which can be really frustrating. So especially early game, you just end up having no health and no mats constantly. So they did make an adjustment to try and resolve this. They buffed health Siphon to 100, so if you get elimination, you'll get 100 health, but you won't get any materials at all. I don't think this has really fully fixed the problem. Yes, the looting for heals is no longer a big deal, but you still have to farm for mats for ages, or you're just not getting any materials. Even if you wipe Salty Springs to 5 kills, you're still not going to really have any mats. And I also think this just kind of messes with certain team dynamics where, say for example, you're in duos, right? And then your duo and you each go to 1v1 the other duo. And say you hit a big shot. Say you do like 110 damage with your pump, but unfortunately you die to the enemy, right? Normally you would say, okay, your teammate has an advantage against them because they have low health, but once they finish you off, they're back up to 190. So it just creates weird dynamics where the snowball effect is stronger in a sense, and it's harder to come back from disadvantage. You could argue that's fine. I just think it creates weird dynamics that kind of mess with the balance. It's harder to, make those clutch plays when the enemy team's getting huge amounts of Siphon. Let's move into the benefits of Siphon. There are really two big ones I want to talk about. Number one, it makes third parties much less of a problem, right? One of the biggest issues is that you finally finish off your long fight against the enemy, but, some third party rolls up, you have no mats, no health, and then you just die, right? The good news is that with Siphon, you should, if you have mats and health Siphon, get some health back and get some mats. So you have a chance to resist another attack. And the second one, which I also think is important, is it reduces looting time and farming mats time, which is huge. It just picks up the pace of the game. You spend less time just whacking trees and looting houses, right? I just think it overall improves the game experience as you can spend more time actually engaging with other people. And the great news is because lobbies are so big, it's not like we need to artificially slow down the game. We have plenty of people in every lobby. Now, there are some drawbacks to this, and really I can think of two. And the first one is that I do actually think this makes the game more difficult, because if you think about it, if we have, say, a 50 health and 50 of each material per kill, a good player can basically infinitely heal and infinitely have mats. If they get, say, 10 kills, that equals 500 health, right? And that'll also give you them 1,500 mats. So it can be difficult to stop someone from snowballing the game once, they sort of get the Siphon flowing and just are continuously getting infinite health and infinite mats. So there is that. And also the second thing is it does incentivize finishing off down players. Although I don't think this is actually that big of a problem, because with reboot fans, you can always reboot your teammate if you manage to win the fight anyway. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. So now moving into the proposed solutions, I really think what we should do is go back to the normal way that Siphon exists in pretty much every other project. Every UEFN map that has Siphon is 50 health and 50 of each material. Because that means your balance between health and materials, you should reduce on the farming time. You shouldn't have to loot too much. I think it'll be a good place to start. Now, I do think this lever can kind of be adjusted, right? If you want to promote more aggressive play, you can increase it just a little bit. Even a 60 health and 60 mats will make a difference. But if it's too much, you can always drop it down, right, to 40 health and 40 of each material, and just play with that lever to get the right compromise between gameplay balance and fun, and like how difficult the project is if that's a real concern. I really think that's where we should go here. I don't think just having health is a good solution, as you're not solving the material problem and you're just creating weird dynamics when you play team modes. And with that, I hope this video was interesting. If you agree or disagree with me, think I'm partially correct, feel free to leave a comment below. And with that, I will catch you in the next one.